Thank you, boys. Yeah, what an end. What an end to a fantastic game of football. Didn't go our way, Pat, but a brilliant performance in the second half from Chelsea.
There were a lot of fabulous performances. Certainly, Trevoh Chalobah. I mean, really well.
Huge.
I know he's had a lot of big games for us. He's scored goals. He's done lots of things. He's defended well. But that was a grown-up, mature, absolute top-level performance. And he learned a lot. I think Graham Potter learned a lot. When we come to ask people at Jorginho to come in and just do us a real brilliant job, and he did it. I think we can't ignore the fact that Graham Potter, tactically, genius, absolute genius today. We were under the cosh and we think, well, you need to change that. Oh, he's done it. So I'm kind of disappointed with a point, but no way in the world did Manchester United deserve to win that game.
I completely agree. I mean, Zach, we had the unfortunate pleasure of being stood in the away end when the equaliser went in, and I tell you what, I think between the two of us, you saw the colour drain from our faces as then it seemed to go to the Man United one. But you could see not only the emotion and the passion, and again, we spoke about it before, there's a lot of passion and emotion in this derby, but the relief within the away end that they nicked something at the end, because second half there was only one winner.
No, for sure. I think for them as well, because they dominated the first half, they probably felt like they did deserve something from it. Look, can't take away credit from that header. That is an unbelievable header from Casemiro in the end. I couldn't quite tell who scored it in the end, but it's an unbelievable. And Kerr was actually quite unlucky because he does very, very well to even get a hand on it. It's tough. I think when you score a late minute kind of winner from a penalty, and the emotions from a penalty anyway, like the pressure, to then obviously have it happen like that with 6 minutes added time, it hurts for sure. I think the boys did themselves proud, especially that changing up, as Pat kind of mentioned, it's not an easy decision to make, and Potter made it in the first half. And look, I think overall, we'll take it. If you'd offered to Chelsea fans a point before the game, I think they probably would take it.
Pat, us three were stood here after the Spurs game, after the last-minute header from Harry Kane, I think it was, to draw. Did this one hurt more because of the performance in the second half?
It's easy to say that now, but that one hurt. That one hurt a hell of a lot. Look, I'm happy with the fact that the teams at the top of the league, like, they're coming here and they're hanging on against us. Right. So that's a good thing. We're improving, and I think as this season I'm seeing lots and lots of good improvement. I'm still not convinced that ball went over the line, and I watched it from so many angles, right? And the way it comes across in the very, very final one, right? The whole ball goes over the line, and this is technical. It's whether the circumference goes over the fast part of the line. Look, we trust the technology, we have to. But boy, that would have been the best save that Kepa's made yet, because that touch that you described there was actually stunning. So it's millimetres, just millimetres that stopped us. And in fact, skip that, millimetre.
You're absolutely right, and again, we had the same view as you really, and it didn't look like it had gone over the line, but I have been informed that it definitely did. You know, we've got people in the gallery that said they looked at Hawkeye and it's over. It's disappointing, it's gutting, but let's focus on the positives. You've already mentioned Trevoh Chalobah, but Zach, talk to me about Trevoh, because like Pat said, everything that's been asked of Trevoh, he stood up to, and he's been phenomenal. In a 3, in a 4 today, we've seen him play as a 6 as well at times, been fantastic.
He's been so consistent over the past couple of games as well, and Trevor's really a mix of everything. He is an aggressive defender, strong, fantastic in the air, but not just that, he makes the right decisions. You kind of feel like playing next to Thiago Silva, or having been with Thiago Silva for now a couple of years, he's learning, it's being smart. You don't have to go and challenge everything. It's maybe defending the space, whatever it might be. He's really, really impressing me. And not just me, and more importantly, he's impressing Graham Potter. He's one of the guys to come off this pitch, I think, was fantastic. As you said, it's not necessarily easy to go from a back 3 to a back 4 midway through the game, where you've got a different midfield as well in front of you, but he did it seamlessly, and so did Thiago Silva as well. He was really good. I thought Chilwell had a good game. I thought Mount was very busy as well, and Cover, to be fair, Cover came on and just did what Cover does and played fantastically.
Absolutely right. Quite a lot of social media reaction, obviously saying plaudits towards Trevoh Chalobah for his performance today. Pat, we were here about 18 months ago. We had Carlo Cudicini here talking about Trevoh Chalobah and on the loan development, saying how brilliant he's been. he's been there. He's been there ready and waiting. And it's been a problem that Chelsea have looked to solve by dipping into the transfer market. Just a couple of these tweets that are coming in here saying how superb he's been and how brilliant he's been. And obviously this one here, very nice with a lovely little meme there. But just in terms of that, Pat, you know, he's been here the whole time. He's back to be patient. He's taken his time. He's had a run. He's performed well. He's taken out again. He gets another run now. He performs. What more can Trevoh Chalobah do?
You have to also add the point, we've spent a few quid in centre halves recently as well. You know, so there's a lot of, you know, competition in there. And sometimes it's competition, you have to wait for your moment. When you get your moment, you take it. And you've got a manager here who clearly says, right, if you take your moment and it's there and you play well, I'll stick with you. He's done that with Kepa. And Trevoh has to understand that. Look, if I play at that level every single week, I'm going to be in the team. Yeah. Okay, so there might be rests here and there. You play at that level, you can't be left out of the team. And whether that's in a back four or a back three, and he's comfortable in both. I actually thought Trevoh looked slightly better in a double, you know, just with one other centre back. So great for the big man tonight. He's powering up, he's looking better. His passing was pretty good, but his reading of the play was, I'm going to give him the biggest compliment I can. It was Silva-esque.
It was. It absolutely was. A little word on Jorginho as well, Zach, yes. Because Jason, rightly so, was singing his praises in commentary. It was fantastic today, and obviously stepped up and took the penalty, which means that he'll be in the headlines, but were he not for the penalty, he should still be getting a lot of the chat because he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was fantastic, man, especially that second half. And really when that change happened, it allowed, having that extra midfielder allowed him to kind of do what Jorginho does best and pick the right passes, make the right decision, pick the ball up in tight areas where you're getting pressed, and be really super unpressable and have people turning, or you're completely turning all the time, picking the right pass, whether that's right, left. And also, like, dictating the midfield, making sure I think sometimes we forget, like, the kind of captain that Jorginho is now. He's like the second in charge after Aspie, and I feel like you do see it. That second half especially, was really, really, really good. And he was unfortunate not to be on a winning side.
And I guess, from a Chelsea fan's perspective, there's that disappointment now, but when you look back on the game as a whole, the first 20 minutes or so, Manchester United were in command, but the next 70 were very much Chelsea on the...
Yeah, I mean, without creating a massive amount of chances, but, you know, also as the game went on, I thought we got stronger, and I think our young legs, when you looked at what they had Casemiro in there, I mean, they probably had 3 or 4 players like Bruno as well in there, and you're thinking, yeah, I love Eriksen, he's a fabulous player, but you're up against Mason now. And we're bringing players on that are young, that are lively, that are not in any way lesser players, but they've got energy levels that they're not going to live with. I think I can see what Graham's trying to build here, and it's something that the buy-in's going to be good from everyone. But from the younger players, if you're Broja coming on, you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to be part of this. I got on before Kai Havertz there. You know, so there's a big point to be proved for all the players. If you're good enough, doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter how much cost, doesn't matter where you come from, you'll be on that pitch. And I'm loving what I'm seeing. We get beat 1-1. Well, we did get beat 1-1 in some ways today. I'm actually walking out again with a smile on my face. I really am. I can see where we're going, and I like where we're going.
Just carrying on from that point that Pat's made there about players, you know, that youthful exuberance within the squad. Pat's mentioned on countless occasions before, it takes about 10 weeks before players are at their actual peak fitness or around that mark. You're really seeing that at the moment, especially under Graham Potter now, the system, but the energy and the output from every single player. Mason Mount is always like that, but you're seeing that across the pitch, and that energy always gets you in a game, doesn't it? So even when you're not playing well, you're still in the game.
And also it's about taking the energy from the fans as well. Like I saw when we came out, it felt like the Stamford Bridge was absolutely rocking. You saw the players kind of going from that. I mean, the other element as well is the depth that you have. I mean, bringing on Karni Chukwuemeka as well is huge. And the game against Manchester United at 0-0. That's something at times you've been unheard of at Stamford Bridge and at Chelsea. And I thought he did very well. With the minutes that he was given. And I think, yeah, as Pat kind of mentioned, the future is super, super bright for Chelsea Football Club. And if you're one of the academy boys, if you're Harvey Vale, who's on loan at the moment, you're seeing these kind of opportunities being given, you are so excited for what's to come. And the idea that this is only going to get better and better whilst also adding quality as we have been. yeah, it's a very, very exciting project.
Absolutely right, absolutely right. Things are winding down here, but this week's only just begun for Chelsea. It's a busy one ahead, of course, with a massive Champions League game coming up for you in the week. Plenty on the fifth stand to keep you busy and occupied before then, of course, as well. So make sure you keep your eyes across it. Live training and the press conference coming your way Monday, and then Tuesday, not only UEFA Youth League action, but also Champions League fixture for you as well. Boys, thank you very much. Give me one word to sum up today.
Hope.
Hope. Okay, I like that.
Okay, exciting.
I'm glad I finished on you both there, actually. I'm glad because you've given me that hope and excitement. Fantastic. Yeah, it's a brilliant rivalry, isn't it? We said before the game that it was probably the closest they've been in a long time. They started a point apart, they finish a point apart. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.